Hey everybody, it's Ali, and what's going on? I've got a few small pieces of gear for 2022 to show you, so let's check them out. But before we go into this, please, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel, and I will really appreciate it. It'll really help me out, and it'll help you out because you'll get to learn some really cool things and see some very cool trip videos. Okay, so I have a few new additions to my gear loadout this year. Nothing super huge or major. I'd say probably the biggest thing I got was my Waymark Mile Pack from Waymark Gear. That's the biggest of the big 3 type items that I got this year. But I did get a few small items that I think are going to make my hiking experiences that much better. So let's go through them. Okay, so this very first item I got from Ben over at Hilltop Packs, and Ben has just been awesome to me. He's been so good about letting me test out new gear and letting me try stuff, and he sends me over new gear when he gets it. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is my new food bag from Hilltop Packs, and there it is. This is the DTRS 75 EcoPak material. I wanted to make sure I got that right, so I was reading it. But it's super cool. It's super cool material. God, I love these colors too. This green and blue that I asked him, I just said green and blue. That's good colors. And it's just this really cool design. And it has my new Outland logo, my revised Outland logo on there. But flat bottomed, like I said, it's this EcoPak DTRS 75 material. It's super light. It almost feels like paper. Like this material feels like it's gonna rip, but it's super strong. I guess it's just amazingly strong. So I got to use this when I was up at Oil Creek a couple weeks back, and just fantastic. And this is going to go with me on all my trips this year where I have to hang food. So thank you, Ben. Love this thing, man. Absolutely love this piece of gear. Fantastic. Okay, so the second piece of gear was the thing that I got to, just kind of to replace something that was annoying me. So for my morning coffee, I've been doing pour over style on the trail, and so I have to heat up my water in my Tokes pot. So usually when I'm doing pour over style, I'm heating up the water in the pot, and I have to pour it into a separate cup. So that separate cup where I make my coffee is, I've been using the GSI, I forget what it's called. It's just a plastic mug. It's super lightweight. It's a really nice piece of gear. It only weighs 2.5 ounces, but I've always been annoyed at how bulky it is, especially when it's in my food bag. And when I'm trying to condense my food bag and pack it down really tight, I've always got this cup in there that just keeps me from being able to really get things compressed. So I wanted something a little bit more compact, something a little bit flatter, I guess you could say. So that's where this next item comes in right here. And that's this right here. This is the Sea to Summit X Cup. And you've probably seen a lot of these. A lot of people have these. A lot of backpackers really like these. They make all kinds of stuff like this. Cups, bowls, all kinds of things. This is my first one. It's food grade silicone, and basically it's a little flat disc. I think it's a little over ½ inch, something like that. And it just pushes out, and there you go. Now you have a cup. It's super fantastic. It's really nice, and it works as a measuring cup. It's got measurements inside there. Now this is the new, I think it's called the X Cup. So it has this new feature of these little fins on it. And basically these work, if you're a computer geek like me, you've seen how a heat sink works on a computer. Heat sinks, they draw the heat away. It's hard to explain, but this works the same way. These little fins kind of create an air gap, and I was really curious to see if this would work or not. So as soon as I got this thing in the mail, I immediately boiled some water, and I poured boiling hot water in here, super hot water, literally bubbling, poured it in here, and picked this cup up, and I could not believe it. I hardly felt the heat at all. Now, if I hold on to it, if I held it in the same spot for a while, I did start to feel the heat, but it took quite a bit to feel the heat. So I was impressed. I actually thought, wow, these things really do work. So that'll be nice for a piping hot cup of coffee on the trail. It's one of my favorite things, one of my favorite luxury things on the trail. is to have hot coffee. I usually take pour overs like from Twisted River Coffee, taking those a lot now because they're fantastic, or I'll use my GSI pour over and a filter and grounds that I ground before I leave the house. But I absolutely love coffee in the mornings on the trail, whether it's hot or cold. It's a morning routine, it's a morning ritual. And so yeah, I'm impressed with this little X cup from Sea to Summit. I like how it folds down. Pretty nice little piece of gear. And the next piece of gear, I guess you would call it gear, I don't know, equipment. This is from JTreeLife, and it's Joshua Tree is the company, and JTreeLife.com. And it's a healing salve, and basically you put this on, you put it on your feet or your hands, or you can use it on any part of your body, but I'm going to use it for my feet after I've been hiking all day. It kind of moisturizes your feet. It's all organic. So I guess unlike lotions that will tend to dry out your skin, and then that makes your skin much more, easy to rip and easy to tear. You want calluses. So this was derived from, I guess, from climbers, and you want natural calluses because you want that hardness when you're climbing. Same thing with your feet when you're hiking. You want those calluses. You want to build up that rigidity in your feet so you can do those long hard miles. So I got this sample from the JTreeLife folks when I was at the Adventure Summit back in February, and this perfect little sample. This is the sample size, but it's also super ultralight. So if I like this stuff and it works well, I'm definitely going to be getting more. So I'm curious. I've been looking for some kind of salve, something to, put on my feet after a long hiking day. I've looked at some CBD type things and stuff like that. So the more organic, the more natural, healthy, the better. So yeah, JTreeLife healing salve. They make all different kinds of healing salves. They've got like a climbing salve, a hiking salve, paddling salve. I think those are all just in name only. It's really just the same thing. But yeah, so we're gonna try it out. And last but not least, this is gonna be something that's probably gonna not be going with me this summer, but it's more of a wintertime piece of gear, fall, winter, early spring kind of thing. But I finally got a new backpacking saw, and I've been looking at all different kinds. I looked at, goodness, I looked at the Gomboy, the Silky saws. I looked at all different types. And my buddy John had this particular saw, the Sven saw, and I fell in love with it. I just thought it was an absolutely fantastic thing. And it chewed through wood like you would not believe. So I ended up getting this off REI. This is the 60th anniversary edition. I don't know what that really means other than it has 60th anniversary edition written on it. But this is the 21-inch Sven saw. What I like about these, they're made in the USA. Super high quality. They're not the lightest in the world, but they're not that heavy at all either. They're also super freaking sharp. I cut myself on the blade. It's like a razor blade, saw blade. So super sharp. And I guess the blades last for like 10 to 15 years, just depending on the use. My use, just using it for hiking, it'll probably last 20 years or more. So fantastic piece of gear. I'm super excited to finally own one of these. I've been wanting one for a while. So the Sven saw, super sweet. Now, there was one thing that I was worried about with the Sven saw though, is because unlike Silkies and others, those are all one piece, right? So they just, it's all one piece. They usually fold out, no chance of really losing anything. This disassembles. So there are pieces that you could lose, especially this right here. This is little wing nut that goes on the end. So you unscrew the wing nut, you slide this out, and then you slide it in here, and it makes like a triangle shape. So I went online, went on YouTube, my favorite resource, and found this hack that these guys had done, and I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And it's really super simple hack. Basically, you drill a hole in the wing nut somewhere, like right here. Put a key ring through it, and then put something like this paracord I put on here. Now, all I had was this super bright green neon paracord at the time. I'm probably gonna try to put some bright orange on there because depending on where I drop this, I might still lose it if I drop it in grass or something green. But yeah, it was just a fantastic idea, just an easy little hack. But if you drop, you know, it's kind of like a keychain. So if you drop this wing nut somewhere out in the wild, you should be able to find it. So that was a really cool idea. And I just was like, oh, brilliant. So many smart people on YouTube. But yeah, Sven saw. Super excited. I'll be using this for overlanding for sure, car camping, and winter camping when it gets cold again. Really cold, I mean. I'll be doing it. And maybe if I get a hot tent next fall, I'll be cutting a lot of wood. So super excited about that. All right, those are just a few items that I picked up for 2022. Very excited to get out there and get backpacking again. I've got some trips planned. I have a super awesome trip coming up here in a couple months, and it's just going to be a great year. I can feel it. I'm looking forward to being in the wilderness. It's going to be great. So make sure you guys come along with me and stay tuned for all the updates. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, be sure to like, share this video, subscribe, comment, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of all this stuff. And I'll talk to you guys real soon.